Now, the Nigerian Senate has now been in session for 25 months since its inauguration in June 2023. New figures show a chamber busy on paper, but facing questions over transparency, independence, and oversight. Official records say the Senate has introduced 844 bills in just over 2 years. 96 have been passed and signed into law. More than 100 are awaiting public hearings. About 400 are at second reading, and some 200 are still at first reading. A new monitoring tool by ERGAF Africa and CISLAC is tracking individual performance from bill sponsor to plenary contributions. Senate leader Oyeniyi tops the list, followed by Deputy Senate President Barau Jibrin. The report also highlights low or zero activity by some senators and shows women generally participate less than men. The Senate has held several oversight hearings, including probes into slow budget releases and unspent funds. But critics say the chamber is too closely aligned with the executive, passing major decisions with little debate. Conflicting numbers on bills passed have also raised doubts about record keeping. We now take analytic perspectives of this scorecard of the performance of Nigeria's National Assembly and the impact of 2027 elections on Nigerian lawmakers, among others. Public affairs analyst Akinloye Oyeniyi joins us now from our Abuja studios. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us.
Good afternoon. Thank you. Good afternoon, Nigerians.
Let's begin with your general assessment of this 10th National Assembly.
Actually, when you know, we have three arms of government. We have the judiciary, we have the executive, then we have the legislature. Then you know there are functions of the executive, we have functions for the judiciary, we also have functions for the legislature. One of the functions of the legislature is legislating, that is lawmaking. We have representation, that is representing their constituents. Then we have another function which is very silent, which is public enlightenment. So all those ones are there. So if we are assessing them, we are going to be assessing them based on those three areas. Legislation, like you have said, in the Senate, Senator Oyeniyi, they're followed by the Deputy Senate President and another senator, 77, and so on. When you look at all these laws, all these bills, you know, Senator Bamidele, part of his bills are from the executive, because the Senate leader is the one that will be taking the executive bills when it comes to the Senate. So when you look at the bills on the table, and you look at how many has been passed by the Senate, then when you look at bills also from the House of Rep and how many were passed by the Rep, when you look at the percentage, you'll be seeing about 6% from the Senate. I think about 7 to 8% from the Rep. That is the assessment on lawmaking. But when you go to the area of representation, in the area of representation, you look at them from the perspective of the constituency project they took back home to their people from the budget. So in that area, I think all of them, they are faring well. The senators, all the senators, the principal officers, and all the House of Rep members and their principal officers. Then another area is the public enlightenment. Why the public enlightenment is the area of maybe public hearing and town hall meetings. But when you look at this assembly, it is not only this assembly. It's just that the 8th assembly under Senator Saraki, and the 9th assembly under Senator Lawal made more improvement a bit than this in that area. If you look at this area, you look at this 10th National Assembly, they only think of carrying out town hall meetings when it's issue of constitutional amendment. And it's supposed not to be so. If the law, that means if the law had not even enshrined it that must be done, automatically that means we won't be having that. So and what is supposed to be, the process is supposed to be all laws, all of their bills, they're supposed to enlighten the people. They're supposed to invite people. Although some of the laws after the second reading, going back to the committee stage, some of the committee used to do public hearing. They invite people who will not even come because people are not accustomed to that kind of invitation. People don't know. They don't know. But it is the duty of the National Assembly to now enlighten people. This law we are making, it is not, we are not only the lawmakers, we are also citizens of the Nigeria that brought us here. You are also part of the lawmakers. You sent us here as your lawmakers to come and make law, to come and represent you while we are doing this law. But when it comes to issue of public, issue of final decision, we have to bring it back to you. You have to input your own decision. We look at your opinion, we will rationalize it, we will look at it, and we fine-tune the document, and it becomes law. It becomes law. But the National Assembly is not only distant National Assembly.
Mr. Oyeniyi, very good.
It's not only them.
Yes, you've made a very valid point there. Now, beyond the issue of enlightenment, as it were, how impactful, when you take a holistic look at the 96 laws that have now been passed, if you take an assessment of them, how impactful will they be to the people, the public, of which they were meant to serve in the first place?
Yes. You know, all laws are impactful, whether it is negative or it is positive. When you look at some of these laws, we cannot say all the 96 are going to be impactful, positive, are going to have positive impacts on the citizenry. We are not going to say that because, you know, it depends on laws. Laws are not static. They are like this. It's just like society. Society is dynamic, so are laws. We should not forget that the National Assembly will only make the laws. They will only legislate. The execution belongs to the executives. While they are executing the law, the National Assembly now has another function, which is oversight. It's just like when you send a child, or you send somebody, or you order somebody. You order something from maybe online marketing platform, whatever. If you are ordering car, you cannot be supplied motorcycle. So you have to. There is oversight. This is what you say you should do. This is how are you executing the laws? You understand me now? There are some that will have positive impact on the citizenry, but where the problem is coming from is the total condemnation of the National Assembly by Nigerians. By Nigerians, and this is coming from this kind of, National Assembly is supposed to be oversight. It's supposed to be oversighting the executive, but there's this kind of submissiveness of the National Assembly to the executive. They say rubber stamp. It is not rubber stamp. It is kind of mild submissiveness of the National Assembly to the executive, and this will critically affect the their functions on checks and balances. That is why you see everything that is just coming from the executive and everything is just passing. Everything is just coming, everything is just passing, whether good or bad. If those things are just coming and passing like that, the Nigerians, the public, both remote and immediate public and your remote public will be seen looking at you as if you are rubber stamp or you are submissive. That is the signal you are giving out. That is the signal you are giving out. And in every time when you have something happening in the nation or a country, the legislature be the first. You see, when there's a coup, the first point to be taken, the first arm of government to be taken out is the first and only is the legislature. The judiciary will be there. Other people will come, whether soldier or whatever, they will come, or caretaker, they will come. The executive will be there. So the primary symbol of democracy, which is government of the people, you understand me now, is the National Assembly in Nigeria. It's the National Assembly, but everything is coming, all policies are coming, all policies are dovetailed into law, and they are coming, and there's no checks and balances, there's no thorough examination, there's no thorough scrutiny. You can scrutinize it, invite Nigerians to scrutinize it. Look at how many days the National Assembly, when we were to change the old National Assembly to this current one, how many days? No input from Nigerians. It's supposed not to be so. Even if you are doing the right thing, invite Nigerians. Let us. If we are doing the wrong thing, let us all do the wrong thing together. If we are doing the right thing, let it be that all of us did it together. So there will be no blames.
All right, Mr.
But everything is just coming hook, line, and sinker.
Well, earlier you were talking about constituency projects. I wonder if that's a good measure, because when you look at the primary duties of the legislators. It is to legislate, to perform oversight duties, and to, of course, basically represent the people. Would you say that constituency project is a good way to measure, or how would you propose that Nigerians measure the performance of their representatives?
There has been misconception about this. You know, what we are trying to say is what Nigerians call budget padding. You see, this consensus project is coming from the failure of the executive, because you see, look, when you look at this consensus project, in areas this project has been cited, federal government can never think of citing projects in those places. That is where the problem is coming from. And we should also not look. We should not forget that that budget is a bill. It's a piece of legislation. Budget is not different from just that we have money bill, we have other bills for other laws. Budget is a money bill. It's an appropriation proposal. It's a proposal from the executive. So when there is a lacuna, this area does not have this, this area is not having, this area is not having, the legislature, they have the right. They have the right to amend the proposal to come out as a fine law. So when the federal government has overlooked some areas, and you don't forget, especially from House of Representatives members, they come from core, because their constituency is more grassrooted than that of the Senate. Senate is just 3 people per state. But we have House of Rep, we have some like Kano, you have how many of them? But you have a lot of House of Rep members from Kano. So there's no way federal government, you know, when you look at federal, I have consulted for a lot of committees in National Assembly and some of the committee chairmen. And I always take part when budget is being prepared. I think since 2005, 6 upward till now, till the last budget. You understand me now? There's what you keep on seeing is computer, project vehicle. The same thing, the same thing they brought last year, they will just amend some places, they will still bring it back like that. So when you look at this consensus project, maybe solar power, to fence a primary school, to construct a public toilet, to boreholes, and federal government can never think of those areas, all those corners of Nigeria where this thing is coming from. I think the best way to be doing that, if we don't want National Assembly to be doing it, maybe when budget is being prepared, and there's call circular to MDAs, budget is being prepared, there should be. I don't know what we are going to call it. Maybe we cannot call it call circular because they are not under the executive. I don't know what we are going to call it. Those people too should submit those proposals to the executive arm. So when the executive is bringing it, is bringing a wholesome document that has been prepared by those in government, because the preparation that is coming from the National Assembly will be those that are coming from Nigerians. So the budget will not be a thorough document that has been prepared by those in government, executive arm, and Nigerians. You understand? I think that is the only way that we will not be seeing it as budget padding or constituency project. If outside that, there's no way we will not be having it like that. Because when you look at the project, some of them are 300 million. Senators, they have above that. The principal officers, some of them have 1 billion, 2 billion, 5 billion. Look at where all those things are going to. If those things are not going there, I think maybe by now we will not be having what is called Nigeria, because there will be an uprising. I'm telling you, in one way or the other, maybe the way it's coming is bad, but the areas, the issues, those things are settling to keep Nigeria going. They are enormous. Right. They are just too enormous. They are enormous.
Okay.
They are enormous.
Very good, Mr. Oyeniyi. Now, currently there are moves and, of course, realignments towards the 2027 polls, including defections as well. We've seen that recently. So what has been the effect at the National Assembly you're witnessing? And should we be concerned about that currently? And, should that be the focus now instead of their major legislative functions?
They were there they were there through politics. So, if you are as a man now, if you are in a marriage, you have a wife. Something brought you to that relation, which is the marriage. You understand me? And you always think of, this marriage should not break. This marriage, I have to manage, you understand, I have to maintain this. So that is their source of coming into the National Assembly. There's no way, whether election is coming or not, that they will not be thinking of that. So that being said, what we have seen is the majority of the APC, the ruling party, has gained more majority than they were before. And I think that is coming from the way the opposition parties are being handled by the opposition politicians. Because, we have been hearing the ruling party is the one destabilizing our party. I don't know if the ruling party is destabilizing your party. You are the member of they are using member of your party. What is happening? That those members, what is the lacuna? What is the gap that is in that party that your members are trying to address, that they are running to the opposition, to the ruling party, to come to support them, that the party is getting destabilized. You understand me now? So that is just the issue. It is very, very possible. It is very, very possible. It is very, very possible that the ruling party has its hands in those political parties. But we should also tell those opposition parties, what are they doing in their own house? That the outsider is now dictating what is happening inside your own family.
And on that note, we'd like to thank you, Mr. Akinloye Oyeniyi, public affairs analyst, for your thoughts on this issue. Thank you for your time.